Welcome, race fans, to Pitside live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Yes, we are racing, and glad to be up here in the booth, getting us going here racing. It's good to get back in the racing game. All I can say is to start this off, I didn't know how I want to start it off, but I guess I was going to start it off this way, is that this has been a tremendous week for everybody in our area, without a doubt. Condolences, heartfelt everywhere you can think of, from right here in town, south of my hometown of Nottoway, east of my hometown of Nottoway, right here in Corning, north of Corning, all the way up through Prescott, Greenfield, everywhere. It affected all of us, race fans, racers. I don't know who it didn't touch around here, and I've had enough of Mother Nature this week to last me a lifetime, as personally, and I think we got to go through a little bit of it again tonight, the way they're talking. So I know everybody at the Beck radio station, they've been giving the forecast all day, and they're talking about after midnight. So we'll keep an eye on things for you here, but we should be just fine here to racing tonight. Just have to go through another night of it, like I did 2 nights ago, where woke up at 3:30 in the morning, and we got the straight line wins. But I tell you what, it was. I know Evans got personal, stuff where he chased the storm, and it was did some live play-by-play on the radio station of the storm there on Tuesday. And Cole, you did the right thing. You slept through it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was sick all week, and man,
I called you, and you're like, huh?
Yeah. No, like I told you guys, it's a little bit of a wake-up call about maybe I need to nap with my ringer on, because I was very lucky, and just thinking about everybody that was affected, because obviously they weren't as lucky as I was.
So
it does, but I had it on Do Not Disturb because I was trying to nap. Sure. Wrong time to have that on, but like I said, just very, very lucky.
I was frustrated on our deal in Nottoway there Thursday, or whatever day it was. Yeah, Thursday early that minute, nothing went off on my phone. I'm like, what the heck? The wind woke me up real fast, but that was surprising how it didn't go off. So, but anyway, for those that don't know or aren't in Southwest Iowa, we had a great week of weather, tornadoes, wind, everything, and it greatly affected all of us that's in the racing family here. So, I don't know how else to mention the group in Greenfield, Jeff Wiggins family, and everything. We're. I know, Evan, you got a little bit of involvement there. You can talk about maybe, but Garsides, we had a lot of discussion here what we can do. I know I sent some texts out, and after I did it, we already had a group up there helping, so that was what was awesome. I guess the great thing about Greenfield is, and everything around here, Northtown, Prescott, I know Aikens, Edwards, everybody in that area, there's so many farms that got hit, but there was overwhelming help came out. That's what was great, and I heard that Greenfield was just overwhelmed with help, and I know Fletchall's in Missouri contacted me about what they could do down there, and they're going to bring some stuff tonight, and my understanding is Greenfield's gotten so much support that they're sending things down here now to Adams County. So, Believe me, it's needed. It's great that people are reaching out like that. And thank you very much, and we'll get everything to the right place. So
I saw a photo where there was, miles of cars just trying to get into Greenfield to try to help, and I think that just says a lot about the Iowa community down here in Southwest Iowa. I'm sure anywhere in Iowa would be that way, it's just awesome to see.
Well, my day started off quite weird, actually. We had school, and we got out of school early, and I was like, man, this is the first time I think I've ever... Even when I was a student, we never got out of school early for storms, it seemed like. It had to have been, pretty bad or something like that. So, but I do want to give a huge shout-out to all the superintendents around the area, because they made the right call. That's a really difficult decision to make, to let out school early due to a prediction. And they all made the right call getting out of school early. I can only imagine what it would have been like in Greenfield if the Nottoway Valley School District didn't get out of school early, and buses would have been on the roads during that time. So, superintendents throughout the area, if you know anybody who's a superintendent or a administration member that makes those decisions, say thank you to those people, because they made the right decision on that. I went home and I was super tired like Cole, and I actually was just getting ready to take a nap. I was just laying down on my phone, and And I was only asleep for like 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden my phone, the emergency alert system on my phone just went off, and it woke me up, and I look, and we were in a tornado warning in Adams County, and I immediately turned on KCSI. Aaron was doing the weather, and it was literally just south of town. So
well, you were at that time. There was one just outside of Red Oak. It had already happened. Then the one at 7134, and I got a story on all that too, real quick. But I called you and I said, "You going to get your car in the garage?" And I thought you were doing that, but you took off north out of town. I didn't know until you called. And said, there's a tornado.
So
right
I saw
outside
that.
of town.
So I saw the tornado up by Hacklebarney at that time. I saw one to my northwest, and I saw one to my northeast up by the Brooks area, the one that went by Lundquist's house.
Yep.
And I started following it. I went to Old 34, and then I went back north. And then I decided to call the station, and Lori was on there, and Lori was like, "Hey," and then they had me go live a couple times. I got to Lake Icaria just after it hit, and all power lines were everywhere, and then I helped some of the first responders there. I helped them get people turned around and make sure people weren't driving through that road because there was power lines everywhere, and we blocked off that road. SIPCO was there like right away, which was crazy. They were there right away, making sure those lines got off the road, and it was just incredible to see all the damage that was in Corning, just north of Corning. I mean, it just missed the Lake Icaria, and then it went south of there, and then unfortunately went up to the Edwards house, and prayers to Nick Edwards and his family. It lost everything, and then it scurried its way on up to the just south of Fontenelle, just northwest of Williamson, and then on up to Greenfield. And
yeah, I'm sure everybody's seen the wind turbine videos because that was that tornado.
And then I went to where we had our fatality there north of Corning.
Yep.
Helped with that a little bit. Helped Scott and Betsy Aiken with their house, and then we made our way up to Greenfield. I called Colton Garside right away actually because I heard that it hit Greenfield, but I didn't know how bad it was. So I called him to make sure he was okay, and then he let me know about Jeff's parents and everything like that. And then I was like, oh boy. So I immediately went up to Greenfield to try to help out a little bit. But I mean, you want to talk about, I was there probably an hour after it hit, and you want to talk about just a literal just war zone. I mean, you could just smell the propane everywhere. Just there was water lines that were shooting water everywhere. People were just covered in dirt and debris, and people were bloody by I saw multiple people that were bleeding on their arms and their face from debris hitting them, and it was very, very, very traumatic to watch. It's something that you see in your nightmares. So if you haven't made your way to Greenfield, and if you are on your way over there to see it, it's definitely something that's very, very devastating. And I know there's been a lot of people on social media talking about it, but and they're not kidding. I mean, it's one of the worst things I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, so many houses destroyed, businesses, fatalities. Thanking God that it didn't hit the hospital.
Yeah,
it skirted the hospital, thank God. But I just want to send more prayers and everything to Jeff Wiggins' family. I actually saw Jeff that night. I was there and I found him. He was doing pretty good. He was doing a lot better than I ever would have thought. So I wouldn't have been able to handle it. He's a lot tougher guy than I am. So, but Garside, same thing. Colton's house got hit. Colton's house was actually one of the better ones standing in his area, but he lost his pickup and all that kind of stuff. But they're supposed to be here tonight. I know they're planning on racing because I think they do just want to get away for a little bit and maybe have some sort of a normalcy for a little bit.
Yeah, that's.
Race fans, if you are here tonight, stop on down by their trailer tonight. They could use all the help they can get right now.
So that'll add to our emotional stuff tonight because first off, we had tonight set up as first off, it's this Proud to Serve. It's our Proud to Serve tonight brought to you by Budweiser, celebrating all of our active and former military getting in free tonight. Thank you very much for all that. NASCAR is always huge behind that too. You can pull up NASCAR's page and they'll show where they really salute veterans and everything, as we do too. Also, a very, very emotional night for us, too, with our own law enforcement here in town. We lost Nick Kippy 2 weeks ago. His family will be here tonight, as will all of our law enforcement. They'll be doing 50-50 sales tonight. You'll see the cruiser out there as you come in with the support the police flag on top of it. We're going to have some neat parades with it out here with the features. But anyway, come support us for all that. Do your heartfelt for the 50-50 to support Nick's family, the Kepi family. That just adds to our emotion with all this after the weather this week. But we already had this plan. Hopefully we'll talk about this week how we'll do some other things about what just happened to us here this week as far as the victims with the weather. We'll be doing something with that hopefully next week. So since we already had this planned, we don't want to overshoot that. We'd like to do it separately. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to our spotters, especially Tim Cooney. I want to thank him personally. I haven't got a chance to do that. I was outside of town in Nottoway doing a little spotting myself, and he called me and said that there was rotation south of Nottoway, heading right towards Nottoway. I hustled back to town, got my mom and my wife up there, and we were watching to the north, and it was heading south, and that's when this is what happened, But I want to thank those guys because I was able to we have a city text alert, and I was able to get our mayor to send out that text alert way before the siren went off. So I want to thank
the sirens were actually... And it was such a quick-moving storm, too, that it was almost already passed by the time the sirens went off.
But I had a good 8-10 minute advanced alert from the spotters with Tim doing that, and I want to tell him to never hesitate not to call me, which he's pretty good at. But that was great because it's nice. Our little community, we have a nice little text group, and for messages to the city, and Pat was able to send that out to us, and that helped a lot because a lot of people said that they got that way before the siren went off. And I said, yeah, that's why we did that. So thank you to that. So on the other side, we are racing tonight. Mother Nature is going to allow us to race tonight, so it was nip and tuck on that too. Thank Evan, Haley, Jacob, Logan's been here a little bit, everybody that's been helping get this track ready, because we had to work our butts off again this week too with the weather we had this week.
She's thrown us about 75 curveballs, and we've hit a couple base hits, but there's been a lot of strikeouts. So. And
also, I'm thanking people real quick. This radio station you're listening to, KCSI 95.3. Aaron, I'm crazy now. I have a radio on in my garage and everything. I'm always listening because it's just.
You are officially. How those old men, in their garage, they always have the radio on and they never shut it off.
I don't.
He's officially that person.
Yeah. So anyway,
he's officially retired and he's always got the radio on. But one thing I will say is there is no better weather coverage than right here at 95.3.
Yep.
Aaron is on it, and Aaron's kind of taking the place of Jerry. Jerry was always one of the greatest at weather, and they do a really good job over there.
They're not afraid to put people on the radio. I know they're in touch with their law.
Yeah, exactly. They put me on. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah, and Adam's on there, and you did it, but it's like I've texted them, temperatures and winds and all amount of. But anyway, that's what's great about them when they go live play by play, because that's where the majority of us older folk are used to going to and getting our information. So it's good that they do it, and I want a big thank you to them too. So otherwise, guys, we had a great week of racing last week.
We did.
We did get some racing in.
It was quite an eventful night.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a gambit of everything going on, so we'll touch base a little bit about that. But anyway, it was good to have some racing going on, and we had some great interviews last week with our guests. We have some guests tonight as well. So I should pull up some of the results here. We can go.
One thing I do want to run down really quick too. What we are doing at
do that.
Opening ceremonies tonight, also during intermission. Nick Kepi's vehicle is going to be down at the flag stand. He is going to be. His vehicle will be down there, and during opening ceremonies, we're going to pull all the drivers out on the front stretch during that time. Also, our fire and safety EMS, Nick's family is going to be out there. All the first responders that are going to be here tonight, all of the Adams County Sheriff's Department, all of that's going to be on the front stretch. We're going to do a moment of silence, say a prayer, do all that stuff. Then during intermission, for the features, we're going to get all the law enforcement vehicles out here, and they're going to pace the field for the features tonight. So,
I just thought of something I got to mention real quick. Tonight is proud to serve by Budweiser. Also, they're supposed to be downstairs doing taste samples from 5 to 6:30 tonight.
They are.
So,
I was actually getting to that.
Those sorry, because I just remembered that. So
yeah. So, but back to what I was saying, they're going to pace the field tonight for the features, which will be super cool. And then, for those of you that don't know, Nick Kepi, he actually was one of our security guards last year. It was before he got on with the Adams County Sheriff's Department. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He was super in shape. He was a marathon runner. He has 2 daughters, and again, it was a no-brainer when we decided to come up with this. We're really close with the Adams County Sheriff's Department. I mean, our own race director and track prep guy, Logan Carlson, his brother Ryan is an Adams County Sheriff. Alan Johannes is near and dear to the races. I mean, you got our own gate guy, turn 4, Rich Miller.
Chief deputy. He's
our chief deputy, and he has one of the worst jobs down here at the Speedway.
Yep.
That gate guy, that's a sucky job. You get pelted with dirt all the time, and he enjoys it. I actually went and got him one of those really nice racing electronic radios this week. So
good.
But all that stuff will be going on the front stretch tonight, race fans. And then do not forget, race fans, please, please, please buy yourself a 50-50 ticket tonight, because all that money is going to a good cause. It's going to the Kepi family tonight. Adams County Sheriffs are going to be selling tickets. Kepi's family is going to be selling tickets. We need to raise as much money as we can. Again, half of it will go to the winner, but the other half is going to go to the Kepi family tonight. So please, please, please make sure that you buy tickets. If you want to donate just to the people and not even buy a ticket, you can do that as well. But we're going to try to raise as much money as we can tonight for that family to cover all those funeral costs and just support that family as much as we can.
You should have just seen them in the cameras a minute ago. The golf cart in the infield has got a support the blue flag on it, and they're selling 50-50 tickets with that out there down in turn 2 right now. So those of you that are listening to us in the infield, make sure you stop that golf cart and get your 50-50 tickets there in the infield as well.
Again, race fans, if you are on your way to the racetrack and you're listening on KCSI or you're on YouTube watching, make your way on to the races. We are racing tonight. It looks like Mother Nature is going to hold off another curveball for us until after midnight. And if anything goes awry again, any severe weather, make sure you tune in to KCSI 95.3 for all your weather updates. And I'm sure Aaron will probably be in the studio tonight again, probably on minimal sleep. So, yeah. Make sure that you come out and support us tonight, race fans. You got a 3-day weekend. It's going to be another good night of racing, Memorial Day weekend, another night of Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. And I believe it's about that time to go to our first commercial break.
Yeah, we'll give her a try, see if my system's working here. If it's like normal, we'll log back in, right? So, tell you what, folks, we're going to attempt to go to our first commercial break on my system here. So we'll be right back with you at Pitside Live. Of course, I was wrong. So we'll log back in. You guys can go ahead and talk for a minute.
For some reason, it always seems to do this on the first time.
The first one. I don't know what it is about it.
But Cole, we got another good night of racing coming up here. I'm looking forward to the next couple weeks for sure. Not only here, but we got Newton coming up as well. And then we move into July, and we're going to have some late models, some sprint cars, all that kind of stuff. So last week's racing, man, we'll talk about it here once we get back out of break. It was quite eventful. So we'll come back on the other side of the break. We'll talk about the races from last week. We'll see you here in a little bit.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress...
Welcome back to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. We're going to start things off here in our next segment, go over our compact results from last week. It was Owen's Restoration Night last week. Thank you very much again for them. Our top 10 in the compact division. In 10th place with Gunnar Steiner, followed by Jesse Ramos. 8th place was Owen Richards. 7th place was Andrew Akers. 6th was Jeremy Frazier out of Brooks. 5th place was Dustin Shepard. Your 4th place car was Xander Steiner in the 5 car. The 15H of Tyler Housley was 3rd. The runner-up was John Berg, your defending track champion. But your winner, the 27 car of Tyler Hoover out of Villisca, Iowa.
I know it's still early, but we can go over some points here really quick. Top 10 in your Floating Vine Compacts point standings. 10th place is Jacob Best out of Prescott with 158 points. Tyler Hoover Tyler Housley in that 9th position out of Council Bluffs with 162 points. 8th place is Jesse Ramos out of Council Bluffs with 164 points. 7th place is Xander Steiner out of Shenandoah with 164 points. 6th place is Andrew Akers out of Gravity with 172. He is tied with your 5th place position driver, Jeremy Frazier out of Brooks with 172 points. In 4th place is Cooper Owens out of Clarinda, Iowa with 174. 3rd place is Owen Richards out of Creston with 178. 2nd place is Malvern, Iowa's Dustin Shepard with 186, and he is 2 points behind your point leader right now and your defending track champion, the 12 car of John Berg out of Creston. And we have our last week's feature winner, also former track champion here at the Speedway, Tyler Hoover. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, last week you got a new power plant in from the guy you beat.
Right. Yeah, it was a long week.
So, did he come say anything to you or anything after the race? Did he say, man, I shouldn't have sold you that motor?
Well, we started door to door in our heat race, and he looks over and yells at me. He's like, I can't let you beat me. And I was like, I know. And then after the feature, I get over to the tech area, and he's like, I'm going to need that motor back, bud.
Well, you've probably seen the video, but you were out front, clean air, but there was all kinds of stuff happening behind you. I mean, that feature was wild. I mean, we had what, 2 red flags?
Yep.
We had 2 rollovers, one right at the end of the race. Thank God you crossed the checkered flag before that. But you had to have benefited quite a bit from being out front.
Yeah, it's just hard telling where everybody's at or who's right behind you and when.
You and Tyler, I'll tell you what though, you and Tyler did a really good job. It was the Tyler and Tyler show.
Right.
You guys were trading lanes, going back and forth, racing each other super clean. You've raced down here quite a bit. You've won a few. You won quite a few races, won a track championship. But that had to have been probably one of the best features that you've raced here.
Yeah, that was one of the funnest, cleanest races for the lead that I've had, and that's in my opinion how they should all be for the lead like that. That's how racing should look for the lead.
One thing I will say, and Cole can attest for this too, we've seen our compact class grow so much, and we have a select few guys. I mean, if you look at these points, everybody in that top 14, 15, they're all super clean racers. They all do a really good job of staying off of each other. They respect each other, and that's really what it takes to put on good racing. Yeah, you guys are competitive and you want to win, but it's got to make you feel more comfortable in the car as well when you know you've got guys that you can trust that aren't going to, waylay you.
For sure, and there's a lot of people who've raced here for a long time that I've raced for a long time now who we share a bunch of respect back and forth for sure.
Tell me a little bit about some equipment you're running. You've kind of gone back and forth the last couple years. You brought a grocery getter one time with a spoiler. You've gone from this black car, I don't even know what that was. Now you're back in a Cavalier. It's kind of just been find something that's good, right?
Yeah, just trying to find something that works really, and I figured that I couldn't figure out the old grocery getter, so I had to get back in a Cavi. And this one I have now, it's got a little bit heavy roll cage, so it's a little heavier. So I've had to learn how to set it up a little bit differently than past cars that I've had, or even cars that my cousins have. Well,
Cole, you got some questions for him?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it during the race. I mean, it's been a while since you've been to Victory Lane. I think we were discussing, would it have even been before COVID since the last time?
I'm pretty sure the last one was in Sean Bagby's car, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Okay, so what your own car, though, how long has it been?
My own car has been since, I'm pretty sure, my championship season.
Yeah.
And that was before COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
Yep.
So, no, I just got to say, it was fun to see you back up there. I know the first week I was like, oh, man, I don't think that engine's doing too hot in that car, because you took off for the heat race and it looked fine, and then you came down the back straightaway off two, and I'm like, oh, wow, he's dropping like a rock.
Yeah,
so
it lost it quick. It started spitting and sputtering only a couple laps in.
So, but no, that had to be good to get the taste of Victory Lane back.
Yeah,
so.
it's good to have a healthy motor again.
Yeah. I'm sure that makes it a little easier.
For sure.
It makes a huge difference in a compact, too, because when you got a piece under you that's fast, it seems like some of these cars, it's just, you can find something in the weeds that's good, but it's hard to find an engine that can keep up, because, I mean, it's all stuff that it's all hand-me-down stuff you buy. I mean, you can't just go like a mid-state. You can't just go and buy a motor that's built. I mean, right. how talk to me how that works. Do you get on Facebook Marketplace? Like,
yeah,
how does it work?
I just made a Facebook post and asked if anyone had an all-stock 2.2 Ecotech, and then Housley got a hold of me, and I don't know. Just once you get a healthy motor in this class, you don't let it go until it goes itself. You hold on to that engine as long as it goes.
Well, I know how
it's like a baby.
Yeah, I know how hard it is to find, because I had a buddy back when I was in college. He had a Cavalier, and it had low mileage, and I couldn't tell you how many compact guys would come up to him all the time, and they're like, "Hey, man, I got money, I'll buy it."
They will. That's how they find them.
So is it like just like car sales, junkyards?
Yeah, you pull it constantly, it feels like.
Well, it's amazing, the difference from a compact to a stock car or anything like that, because there is no catalog that you look at and flip through like Speedway.
Yeah.
You can't just flip through. I mean, like Tyler said, race fans, it's you pull it. It's Hewlett Sons Auto Salvage.
Yeah.
It's all that kind of stuff, and sometimes again, the better stuff obviously is going to be more expensive. But when you're looking for a vehicle and you're looking for a car, what are you looking for too? I'm sure you're looking for struts that are in good shape. Do you really care much about the frame as much because of the cage, or how does that work?
Just trying to find low rust cars really is the key.
And that can be hard sometimes.
Oh, it is, especially around here. A lot of times you got to drive to find a low rust car nowadays.
Tell the people out there that don't know much about compacts, what's the go-to, it seems like, nowadays?
Just 2003 through 2005 Chevy Cavalier with the 2.2 Ecotec. It's the pretty standard, at least around here. Down south, you'll get in the Hondas and those little grocery getters like what I ran, and
they call them what, tuners down there?
They're all quick down there.
Well,
see,
they can do a little bit.
They
more
soup them up down there, so you guys got to keep them as stock as possible.
Right.
So
well, that's the thing. I think the Honda is a better platform if you can put stuff to it, but obviously the compact class here, you can't. You got to run all stock. So obviously there's been some guys known to bend the rules a little bit.
Well, I know. Well, I know too that some of those guys down south. I watched a race. I watched a race at Alltech, and they were running tuners, and some of those guys put a chunk of change into those things.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, I mean, they're running for like a few $100. It's like, man, you guys really must like racing. I mean, you're just lighting money on fire.
Yeah, well, they get crazy down south.
That's like at Bristol when they had the dirt race there. I mean, the compacts are going faster than the hobby stocks.
Yeah, and then what's crazy is they allow them to cut the backs out, and it's all hollow. Yeah. I'm like, when those things roll, man, I mean, you better hope your roll cage holds up because there ain't nothing to those things.
They basically build their own tube chassis through it.
So, but it seems like too that the go-to is the Pontiac wheels. What's up with that?
There's a couple different. There's like two different kinds. You can get Fiero Pontiac wheels, which have just a little bit more.
Is that just
offset.
a U-Pull-It set too,
yeah,
or
you can find them there. They're hard to find.
When you go to U-Pull-It and you find one of those Pontiac wheels, you're like, oh, I just hit the mother load.
Yeah.
Holy grail.
I went out to Omaha one time and they had a sale day going on. They had a whole bunch of new cars in there. And I remember the first thing, people were just going straight for the Pontiacs. Like I was like, "Yep, those guys
are those like off of a Spitfire, or what are those off of?"
Pontiac Fieros.
The Fieros, you're right.
Yeah, and I think they're just like a thicker wheel, right?
Yeah,
so there's
there's two different styles too. There's ones that have a little bit more offset, and ones that are just flat and flush.
I wonder. So there's probably compact guys out there, and I'm sure you're like this too. But you're still young, but. There's got to be guys that are always that are always salvaging for stuff. They're always out there looking for where's the next sale out or where's the next I mean, you guys are probably like a kid in the candy store with that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, and I know a bunch of people who have all kinds of stuff stocked up. They'll just go get it anytime they see it.
It's like like American Pickers, but it's like American Pickers for compact parts.
Right.
So
I mean, it's honestly like the old days of racing. You used to have to go find your stuff and build it and. So it's kind of cool, but you spoke about the offset. I mean, is that something you guys mess with much? Is that kind of a short track to big track thing? I know they mess with the the wheel size or tire size. Excuse me.
I run the same size tires all the way around. I have everywhere, but I know a bunch of people who shove bigger tires on the back or whatnot. I don't know as much as if it helps you corner or whatever. I've just always ran the same ones and never had a problem.
Well, it's something that this class has evolved so much too, and it's honestly probably evolved since you won your track championship. It's probably changed since then, but racing down here is like a different beast when it comes to equipment and having some top-notch stuff, because we know that Adams County is a really big racetrack and it's hard on equipment, and you've got to have top of the line stuff to be able to run with these guys. I mean. Yeah, some of these guys can probably go up to like let's say a Stewart and keep up, because I mean all you're doing is turning left and you're on the bottom.
Yeah,
but up here you can actually get up to speed and see what your thing actually has and stuff like that. So when you do go to other tracks and things like that, are you just bored?
I like the high speed tracks a lot.
I know, but like when you go to like a small track I mean, it's got to be boring.
It's a lot more just constant turning and a lot more. You're not used to it when you run
And
this.
I'll bet you feel like you're going so slow too.
Yeah. Well, at Stewart and I mean Harlan, you can carry some speed sometimes. I thought you carried more speed before they changed it, but it depends.
Well, Tyler, you've improved so much as a driver too over the years, but it all seems like with you just need to get into a piece that you trust and that's fast. And it seems like this year you've got something.
Yeah, I think I might have something decent this year to work with. That's the hope. I was hoping before that motor blown that I was going to be in good shape, and I come in that motor blew, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Didn't know if I was going to be able to afford a different motor, and I'm just glad it paid off.
And it seems like, Xander's been in a good piece for a while now and things like that. And like you said, a lot of these compact guys, it just seems like once you find something good, you don't want to get rid of it. What happened to the track championship car?
Yeah, that car, when I found it, it was actually a flood car, so it was real rusty and
What did you do with it once you?
I ended up selling it.
Do you regret that?
I should have at least kept the motor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, lesson learned, right?
Right.
So with this piece, if this motor stays intact, knock on wood, it sounds like to me that you better not sell that.
Right.
Do you know where the car's at?
No, it ended up getting. I did know where it was, and then as far as I knew, it got wrecked, and it's junked.
Well.
Sadly.
Well, you're up here. You won last week, and you got. I'm sure you got your phone out. You got sponsors to thank. You got people to thank. But remember, race fans, these compact guys are just like other race car drivers. They appreciate anybody that helps them. So go ahead and list off some people.
Oh, for sure. I gotta thank H&H Trailers, Cincy by Allison, Lexi's Licensed Massage Therapy, Karen's Massage Oasis, B&B Siding, Or Heating and Air, Dave's Complete Auto, my whole family, my girlfriend, my mom, grandma, Dave, Xander, Gunner, everybody that helps out all the time. Can't thank you guys enough.
Speaking of Gunner, man.
Yo.
Oh, he was smiling from ear to ear the other week, but the first week I was like, "What's up, Ricky Bobby?" I mean, he was literally just backpedaling down the front stretch. I'm like, "Dude, put some rear view mirrors on that thing."
Right. Yeah, it's been interesting seeing him in a car this year.
But now he's in there, and you got a whole crew down there. It seems like, and you got a lot of people that support you, and I feel like that's probably what keeps you going too. Is you've got a lot of people helping you out, and it's kind of a family deal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys probably wouldn't know what to do on Saturday nights if you didn't race.
No, we wouldn't.
I'm sure for a while there, when you weren't racing, it was probably like, man.
It was boring. I was glad you guys were. It was when the streaming was happening.
Oh, so you can watch.
Yeah.
Well, race fans, that was a driver of the 27 car. That's Tyler Hoover. He's going for another win tonight, race fans, and maybe, hey, car stays together or anything like that. Track championship could be on the rise, but we're a long ways away from that, so we won't talk about that. But we wish you luck tonight, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, race fans, we're going to take another quick break if this thing works, and we're going to be right back with you here on Pitside Live. And no, we're not. We're going to restart here. You want to go grab him?
Well, I tried my best to keep the computer on.
Tyler, you can go ahead and go. So I will stay on the air here with you, race fans, here really quick. We're going to have to reset the old Skylab pad again because for some reason the thing wants to refresh all the time. But once again, that was our compact feature winner from last week. He put on a really good show. There was a lot of stuff that happened deeper in the field, and him and Tyler Housley put on a really good show, and they did a really good job of staying off of each other and racing each other clean. So our compact class right now has been our highest car count class so far. They've done a really good job this year of making sure people show up. Oh, there's Tony on the radio. So you got a face full of a nostril of Tony Hardesty there. So we're gonna take another quick break here, race fans, and we'll be right back with you.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live. Once again, thank you to Mr. Wyman there at Shore Motor Company in Clarinda, Iowa. Also, Heartland Foam, Best Finish Auto in Glenwood, Campbell Mechanical, Barrett Auto, Aiken, Bauer Home Improvement, S&S, State Farm Insurance, Fresco Systems, Subway, Farm Bureau, Jake Gillespie, can't thank him enough, Malvern State Bank, especially Jay Burdick, thank you very much. We're going to go right into our results really quick here. Last week from our B Modifieds, then we'll go right to our next guest. In 10th place last week was David Orr, followed by Ryan Christie. 8th place was the 12J of Darren Hardesty, followed by Tim Parrott. Tim had a really good run, as did Cody, who finished 6th. 5th place was Austin Hardesty. 4th place was Josh Sink. 3rd place was Evan Davis. Your runner-up was the 58 of Hunter Poston, on a very good finish there. But your winner was the 16A of Bryce Allen out of Stanton, Iowa.
Top 10 points in your RJ Plumbing and Heating Sport Modifieds. 10th place right now is Cody Parrott. 9th place is his brother Tim Parrott. Good to have the Parrott boys with us this year at a new market. 8th place in points is Kirk McKay. I know we're early in points, but we're just going to start talking about it. 7th place, Darren Hardesty, looking to be your Rookie of the Year this year. He is impressive right now. Running on some low-end equipment and doing a really good job. David Orr's in 6th place out of Council Bluffs. Moving into your top 5 with 170 points, that's Austin Hardesty. He's out of Adair, Iowa. 4th place is Evan Davis in the Skyrocket Chassis out of Corning with 180 points. 3rd place is Hunter Post out of Belisca with 184. Tied with Josh Sink out of Ankeny, formerly of Red Oak, with 184. And your point leader right now is the 16A car of Bryce Allen, and he is to my right, and he is on the race show. What is going on, Bryce Allen?
After this week, just thankful to be here.
Absolutely. So we talked about it earlier, all the stuff that's going on. It's good to have Sean Kralik back after what happened to him last week as well. I see that he's back, but I'll tell you what, Bryce, you had the move of the night that just absolutely baffled me, because we know the racetrack, there was a lot of rubber on the bottom, and it was all the way down to the breakaway sticks pretty much, and you decided to gamble, roll the dice. You took the top on the restart, and man, what a decision that was.
I think there was 6 to go, and I was coming down the front stretch, and I looked up at the scoreboard, and I saw there was 6 laps to go, and I wasn't to it yet, so I knew that meant there was really 5, and I'm like, all right, we're going to have to do something different, you know. And so I knew I followed him for one more lap around the bottom, and I'm like, I am not getting any closer. I was like, I'm just maintaining. And right before the caution came out, I moved up the racetrack a little bit and tried to diamond it down, and I was like, I just gained 2 car lengths. And I was like, okay, the caution came out. I was like, we're gonna try that again. So,
well, when that Delaware double file came out for that final time, and you picked the bottom on the first one, then the caution came out again, and Cole and I were looking at each other and we're like, is Bryce really choosing the top on this? Like, he might go back like 4 or 5 spots. And we thought you were gonna fall out of a top 5 because everybody was on the bottom. You did get a good jump, and I remember Evan got a good jump on that restart before on the outside of you, but you went into one and you had all that grip stuff. Like, how is he going to do this? And then I don't know what happened, but he must have left you just enough room, or maybe his right rear tire fell off more than you or something, but you passed him on the top, and I'm like, it wasn't the top, it was the middle, but I don't know how you did that.
This new Edge by Most it does what I've wanted a race car to do for a long time. I could never race like that with the car that I got rid of. It wouldn't do it, or I couldn't do it as a driver, whatever you want to call it. Just go race where everybody else isn't. And this car did that really well.
That's going to win you a lot of races too. When you can run where everybody isn't, I mean, I think of a lot of guys that have done that for years, especially in like a hobby stock like Tom Myers, running the bottom side of the Speedway for years. If you can run where people aren't, obviously, it makes sense. You're going to win a lot of races.
Yep.
And you just made it work. And I thought the race was over. I'm like, there ain't nobody passing Hunter because it's just one lane around the bottom and things like that. But you made it work, and I think that was probably the best decision you've ever made in a race car.
Yes, and Hunter is super tough to catch when he's out front by himself. Like, I thought I was turning good laps, and I was not getting any closer to him until the caution came out.
And you had two come out.
Yes.
First one, you chose the bottom. And
had a terrible restart, was sleeping or something.
Right. So does this restart zone down here help at all visually, or is it kind of just the same thing as it always has been?
To me, it's kind of the same thing it always has been, I guess, but I don't know.
It's just better for us as officials, just to see where people are firing, I think, whether it's too early or too late. But yeah, Hunter's been knocking on the door, man. He's been doing a really good job. But we did talk to Josh Most. What was that, last week?
Yep, last week.
And talked about these new pieces that he's building. And people are going to see tonight this modified they brought down. This rocket ship.
Yes.
And whatever he's doing, whatever they're trying, obviously they're building some pretty good pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about, like, from the change of year to year, piece-wise, like, how much different is this car compared to what you've had before?
It's 100% different than anything I've ever had before. The front's different, the tail's different, the middle's different. I mean, it's an altogether a new animal, but it's very similar to a lot of things that other guys are doing. It's enough little things done right that it is really good.
And it's something where Edge has been a known chassis around Adams County for a lot of years now. Multiple track championships been run through Edge chassis. But it's not one of those chassis that really branches out outside of Southwest Iowa, besides a couple guys. You got maybe like a Tim Burke that runs one, or you got Cody Yaw who ran one for a while, guys like that. But it seems like Josh has a really good following in Southwest Iowa, but I know he's been trying to branch out. And hopefully this will show that, hey, my cars are legit, and maybe you can help sell a little bit the chassis too, and show. And it seems like to me that you are the guy to beat this year.
I appreciate that. We'll see. There's a long way to go this year.
One thing that Cole and I said last week is last year, Sean Kralik was always the guy. It's like, okay, where's the zero car at? Where is he at? Is he up there yet? No, but he's going to be up there. The first two races, you've kind of just been lingering, and then you're right there at the end. I feel like you and Sean do the best job out of anybody in the class of managing the race car. You guys do such a good job of, you're like Kevin Harvick in the NASCAR series. You're just closers. You don't take any chances throughout the middle of the race, and I feel like you've just mastered the management of a race car.
Yes, that's a good thing, but it costs me a lot of races too. Not getting through traffic sooner, I mean, you're
not being aggressive enough.
Yes, I mean, it's trying not to get tore up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a limited horsepower class that you can't just make up a half a straightaway here at Corning in when there's two to go. It's not going to happen.
Picking the times to be aggressive, that's important.
Yep.
Obviously, yeah. So it's, he mentioned Joshua interviews the week before. I kind of chuckled to that because he mentioned, how he got you the first week and you were kind of. He was kind of ribbing you, I think, a little bit. It was kind of funny, but what he had to say up here on the show.
Well, he told me, he's like, I want my guys to win. I said, well, all you had to do was let off the throttle.
That's what we laughed about.
That's what I told him. I said so I was still planting, and he wanted to. My car was put together, and he wanted to. He's like, let's see if that thing goes. They knew that one of Justin's went, and he's like, let's see if that one thing goes. I said, I'm planting. I said, I don't have time. I said, it's at my house. If you want to take it to Harlan at a practice, I said, you want to take it up there? That's fine. Turn some laps, might save me a night here, or working some bugs out, or not running, or some wiring or something, you know. He's like, you owe me for that, it got it going for you. I said, yeah, you're probably right. That's a good deal, me not having to mess with it. And then the first week here, he goes out and wins, and I said, hey, you remember that money I owe you? I said, you just cost me $175, so I think consider yourself paid.
There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. So, yeah, we talked extensively with Josh, and, we talked about how he can shoe anything, but what I said, too, about this, his Edge vehicles and stuff, he's easy to get a hold of, and he's always there to support anybody who sells a car too, and he's, like I said too, it's like if he needs you to come and test his car, or he'll get in it and do that. That's what's
well. It helps that he's 10 minutes away from home.
Right? Yes, he's close to my house for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what's neat about it. He's a car builder can get in the car and race it for you to test it himself. If he thinks he can give you his opinion that way, not just by watching it.
Yep.
To me, that's a different animal altogether when you've got a builder that can do that. So.
Yep.
So it's kind of nice to have. I tell you what. Is planting season calming down? Are you done?
We're done planting.
Yeah,
yes.
Good.
Thank God.
Plenty of other things to do, but we'll get there.
Of course. So yeah,
now it's spraying time.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, give you a quick chance to give a shout out to your fans, your family, your sponsors.
Somebody had a birthday last week, and you won for it.
Yep, my niece June had a birthday, and that was to win when them little girls are here. That's
pretty
That's
cool.
good fun.
That is.
She'll remember that forever.
Oh yeah. I got to thank Edge Chassis, Josh Most, Horse Creek Ranch, Belt Farms, Climax Cattle Company, Bergen Farms, the Wookiee family, Mark Allen Drainage, my brother, Nodaway Valley Equipment, my wife, my girls, all my family.
Now, speaking of Bergen Farms and things like that, where is this B-Mod, this Pelzer kid? Where is this at?
Well, there's been some spring planting and some things interfering with racing there for that, and then we thought it was coming this week. Well, no, Hayden had to go to, I don't know, somewhere far away to a wedding, so gotta wait another week.
So it's just a shop ornament right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
We were talking how I'm always listening to the radio in my garage nonstop, and I had to send a little text to Brad this week because I was on there when Hope State Bank president gave the surprise announcement of the new president, new head of the Oat State Bank.
Yep, and congratulations to Brittany on that.
Absolutely, that's a neat deal. Brittany Bergman is going to be the new head of Oat State Bank in Red Oak, so congratulations to her. That's an awesome deal. So I just call that part of our racing family. That's just a neat thing.
Yep.
So.
Well, Bryce, visually the track looks like it's going to be a little bit different tonight. So
that's just fine.
So maybe have to make some fine adjustments on that thing, but we wish you luck tonight, and it seems like you got a good piece under you, and you're going to be a top guy to beat this year.
I hope so.
All right, race fans, on the driver of the 16A car, Bryce Allen, out of Stanton, Iowa. We're going to take another quick break here, if it works, and we're going to be right back with you here on Pitside Live.
No, let's just stay live. Come on over, Tony.
Okay, Tony, we're going to stay live.
We're going to stay live. Heck, we're not going to take a break yet. I'll do that later. Tony's ready.
I wonder if we need to get a different computer for this Scout.
Well, I need to get my sleep system set up on this thing better, so we'll quit doing this. Anyway, we'll just go right to Tony Hardesty.
How's it going?
All right.
We're going to do some quick results here really quick first.
We'll do that real quick.
Or do you want to do that?
Yeah,
all right,
we'll do that.
let's do some quick results first.
Right, so we'll go right into our modified. This is our Poet by our final.
This is stock cars.
Oh, Jesus, you're still in the A-mod, bud.
This is your Northland stock cars.
Yeah, quit switching on me all the time, would you?
Can you tell them my dad's not an announcer?
I love it. Yeah, exactly. Let's try Northland stock cars. What do you think, Tony? We'll do that.
That's much better.
Top 10. All right. Todd Owens is your 10th place finisher, followed by Shecky and Mark Carg in the 9th place. Rick Barton was your 7th place finisher. 8th place finisher, sorry. Lance Swartz finished 7th from right here in Corning, Iowa. Jesse Dennis, also from Corning, was your 6th place finisher. Luke Ramsey in the 17 was 5th, followed by the 37D of Brad Derry. 3rd place was Jonathan Kinzer from right here in Corning. And it's a Corning top 3 with Nick Woodard in 2nd. But your winner, first time out in that car this year with Tony Hardesty winning with that thing.
We got some color and we got a transmission working.
Right.
It looks a lot better out there. Top 5 in your points right now. Rick Barton's in 5th. Lance Swartz is in that 4th spot. Nick Woodard 3rd. Luke Ramsey 2nd. Brad Derry is your point leader. Yes, no pink ribbon anymore. It's not the silver bullet anymore. We've got a number on it now, so we can score it now. It looks good.
It does.
Dre did a good job on it. And Well, last year at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, you made this little trade, and
oh yeah, I remember.
You okay, Cliff?
and back into a stock car, and I don't know. I can see it visually, but I just feel like you have more fun driving that thing.
Well, not only me, but the guys working on it have a lot more fun. It's in their wheelhouse, and they're just more comfortable, more knowledgeable on it, and you know, the technology and the modified stuff today is even the stock cars, but it's you got to be racing more nights a week than one, and not have 3 other jobs, and
right.
It just takes a huge commitment, and it was beyond what we were able to do, and I don't regret it.
Did you have a busy week this week too?
We did, very busy.
I know you're still part of the fire department, so you know.
It was, prayers to everybody involved there. You know,
absolutely.
A lot of devastation.
Yeah, stuff we can do without. So, but I gave a big shout out to Tony to I'm losing my mind already. To Tim Cooney. Yep. You know, he called me. I don't know who the group was south of me in Nottoway, but they were right on the money. I'll tell you that. So, hats off to those guys because they got us thoroughly alert.
They pinpointed that thing, and I actually stopped on 148 just north of town and stopped traffic, knowing where it was going.
Right.
So it would have been a lot worse, had we not had everybody out doing what we were doing. So,
yeah, because I personally think
it was moving so fast too.
I don't know who those guys were spotting south of me, but they were right on the money, and they gave us a big heads up because the siren went off way later than that. So
one of my drivers there, UPS, was in Greenfield, and he was hunkered down at the lumber yard, and he was videoing, and it was 7 seconds from the time that they heard it. It was past.
They were fast moving. Oh boy. Anyway, I keep bringing that bad horse up. So anyway, tell you what, it's good to see you back in a stock car. I'll remember that now. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, because you look good, you really did. Yeah, it was funny just to see the pink ribbon on it all the way around the track. But to me, it's schemes anyway. I recognize on cars more than I do the number anyway. After you've been here a few weeks, that's the way it always is. So anyway, but you got kids coming up.
I do.
You got I know it's busy for sports and stuff like that, and I think you guys are into wrestling if I remember right. But
grandkids are absolutely.
Yeah, grandkids too. Excuse me, and then you got. Who's interested in racing?
Well, Mason is. We actually went to attempt to purchase a car a couple weeks ago, and I'll be darned if Cole's dad didn't outbid me.
Really? Oh, that's right. I did hear that he was getting a car.
Yeah.
So is he going to race it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe his mom's going to plant flowers in it. To my understanding, I don't think TJ knew it was coming home. So.
Oh boy!
Uh-oh. He said he didn't know if TJ thought it was coming home. I don't think knew that.
Yeah, she loves
it. You haven't fought on who's going to race it yet? Maybe you or
he bought it.
Okay. He ain't racing it.
Am I going to announce from the car?
Yeah, exactly.
We can set that up. We can set that up. We got that technology. So, anyway, I know. You've always helped people. I think you got Tate down there. You're helping him, aren't you? So.
Yep. And there's somebody that's really, really going to be really quick once we get him settled down and just get him consistent.
He looked really good last week.
He does. Yep.
He's improved a lot already.
Experience. We had a little chat today and kind of watched over some stuff he'd done, and hopefully it'll just take him to a next. Go for a top 5 and work on that.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Seat time. Everybody says it's true. So, what else is going on?
What else isn't going on is the question.
Right. With the storms, it really
it's just
really consumed a lot of my
my
week, whether it was work, whether it was with fire department, or whether it was with county supervisor stuff. Just trying to make sure everybody had the things that they needed to move forward. So.
Yeah, right. So it's crazy. Right in town, Thursday morning, that straight line wind got us.
Yeah.
Right in town, and we had trees everywhere. I'm like, geez.
Did it get up here pretty bad, or?
No, not too bad.
Yeah.
We had some small branches down, but on east of here, the straight line winds, Winterset area got hit pretty good. I know.
Well, stock car class is small but mighty. We know that, and there's about 6 or 7 of you guys that do a really good job staying off of each other and racing each other hard and things like that. You got Chubbs now, and you race him in a mod. Now you got to race him in a stock car. Brad's always tough. I don't think Luke's racing his stock car tonight. Or yes, he is. It's here. But it's something, Tony, where you've been in everything. I grew up watching you in a modified, and you raced a stock car and things like that. Are you just going to move down the ladder? Or are we eventually going to get to a compact before we retire?
Oh my!
No.
He's with Cooney. He wants to get the Crown Vic class
I said
going.
this a year ago, and I'm holding out. Dave Weed is the only Tim. I don't consider Tim. He had a lot of years off there, but Dave Weeda and I have been here he's been here longer, but I'm going to hold out. I'm going to try to outdo him. So.
Well, I don't even know if he's ever going to quit. He might be racing.
He looks younger every year.
So. Dave hasn't changed in 20 years. Has he? I mean, has he not?
He has not.
I mean, he hasn't aged a day in 20 years.
And he's just as fast as he was.
Absolutely. So. I always like to give Tim crap. Hell, he's retired, and now he can't even get his car ready. So
I think he has to take a nap in the afternoon.
That's what it is.
Oh boy, Craig Garner's here tonight for the first time.
It's good to grab him because I know he's listening. So anyway, Tony, I'm happy you came up.
Hey, one thing I did want to mention really quick too is one of your crew guys, Sean Wilkinson. We do want to give him a thanks for being willing to mow down here.
Yeah.
Sawyer's been helping a lot too. That is a crappy job some days, especially when you're mowing down here in the infield and you got to go over all the ruts.
Yeah, like that.
Sawyer's been going back and forth like this, and Jig's been out there doing out here. But we do want to give them a quick shout out, Wilkinson family, for doing that. And I also want to say that prayers go out to Riley. She was up there during that. She lost her vehicle. I saw some pictures. I'm glad that she's okay.
Yep.
Where was she at exactly? When it hit?
In the basement of a house in the south.
Okay. What was she doing up there?
I believe her now roommate. They were visiting grandparents.
Because I know she was selling her vehicle, and then Sean actually, her dad was jokingly posted on Facebook, "Is the car still for sale?" and Riley goes, "Ha ha, very funny." But glad that she's okay.
Yes,
but
yes.
Do want to give a big shout out to those two for helping mow around here, because it's I know they've been bringing some mowers down and helping with that, because it is a lot of mowing.
It's hard to keep up right now too.
Yes.
Jeez. So.
And they've been doing a good job making sure this place looks good. So
and it does.
They haven't been able to get down here yet because it's been so wet.
I see some new ruts down there too. That'd be fun to mow. So.
Well, Logan went down there with the backhoe trying to get that water out.
Oh, off the.
He's trying to dig it out to where it can get to the tile line.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. So.
Well, I know you got some people to thank, Tony, before we get you out of here. So go ahead and do that.
You know, first of all, my wife's been behind me for all these years, and the whole family. Mason, he's really stepping up and become more of a part maybe of my program and involved. And, it's my intention with the goals that we've put out there for him to achieve, to get him in something, sooner than later.
Hopefully a go-kart.
Well,
hopefully we'll have one down here.
It's funny you say go-kart. We've got a yard cart that I bought new in 1998. I know that because that was the year Paige had retired at 6, 5.5, from racing when we had the flat track carts down here. Paige got in an accident and it scared her, and so we went and bought her a yard cart, and that yard cart now has a little turbocharger on it. And
there you go.
He was testing and tuning last night.
Well,
with
we're
it,
in the process.
But he's fabricated all of himself. I mean, the kid's just a whiz at other guys are out playing baseball, and he's like I was, just tearing into something and trying to figure out how it works.
That's good. Awesome.
But no, Sean and Tate and Justin, they, I worked the night shift on the race car or vice versa, and they, our shifts differ, so we do a lot of communicating that way, and there's just a lot of stuff that they're comfortable with doing and a lot of stuff that I'm comfortable with doing. So we make it work well, and without those guys, I definitely couldn't be down here every Saturday night. It's just so many things on my plate right now, but there's a lot of these names are near lifelong or many, many years, and they're still here, and I appreciate every one of them. And I forgot some of them in Victory Lane last week, but I didn't have any.
Well, you were out of breath.
I was out of breath.
You were out of breath, and it's hard to remember everybody down there, especially when you haven't, when you don't do it all the time. So
Yep. We got HFC Trucking. I know they're a big part of the Salute to Trucking also, and many other things in the community. True Farms, Chris and Stacy have been a huge part of it for many years now. Spencer's Chop House in Creston. Go check them out on a rain out.
Very good place.
You won't be disappointed.
Very good place to eat.
Even though he's a competitor, I got B&S Concrete there still helping out. So.
Well, I think eventually the plan is to get
it is absolutely
the kid in the car.
Yep.
But
I got to stop you a second.
Yep, go ahead.
Channel 5 had a big segment on the storm.
Uh-huh.
And they interviewed, I can't remember the kid's name now, I forgot, but he had a B&S Concrete shirt on during the whole segment. It was kind of funny. So, I was going to ask him if he saw that or not. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Sorry.
Joe's Portables over in Villisca. R&S Auto. Roger's been a big part from back in the late 80s. He's been there the whole time. Custom Diesel, Schaefer Welding. Underdog done an exceptional job. You know, we've kind of stayed with what we had, but kind of spiced it up a little bit, and you know, Dre just does a phenomenal job. My brother Darren, Hardesty Contracting, for those looking for any sewer, septic, or water lines, he's down here in the pits, so just stop by and see him. Mid-State Machine, you know, John always keeps us with good, dependable power, and anything we need on the performance side that way, he's always been there, just a phone call away. So I know I'm probably forgetting some, you know, that but those that are on there, you know who you are, and we certainly appreciate all the continued support.
So speaking of Darren in this B mod, what's going on with that? Is that a relation to you?
That's my brother.
Yeah. What's going on with that? Is he just wanting to race now or what?
Yeah, he raced. Probably you were probably still in diapers.
I know. How long did he race before he took the break?
2 or 3, 2 years, maybe 3.
Because he's wheel man. He can wheel.
Yep.
So what's this car he's running?
That's Austin's old car.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an old GRT.
Do we need to put some rookie stripes on it or no?
Well, after watching him last Saturday, I don't think so.
I don't think so. He looked really good.
He
so I was
did.
impressed. So.
Yeah.
I was calling him a rookie, but technically he's not a rookie.
Yeah.
But he hasn't raced in years, obviously.
Yeah.
So, was that kind of your idea, his idea?
So it was a similar situation when it started out as to like Becker. I think he wanted to put his son in there, and the boys. Jesse's just not quite ready. He's told him, he said, I want to wait a little bit and kind of learn it a little more, and I think that's the right way to approach it. You know, don't just throw a kid out there if they're not comfortable. And so look for him to be coming into it. And I guess as Darren continues, maybe there'll be 2.
Yeah, that would keep this place going.
Well, it sounds like if Becker puts his kid in it, it sounds like Chubbs wants to buy a stock car now. He's been having a lot of fun in it. So, well, Tony, I've been watching you race a long time. I'm not calling you old. But
he has a habit of doing that, believe me.
You've been down here a long time, and
in every aspect.
In every aspect. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your family. It's because of families like yours that keep this place running, and we appreciate it very much. So
I'd also like to throw out there, you know, one of the purposes of tonight is to remember those, you know, that served, but don't forget to buy a 50-50 ticket.
Exactly.
Yep.
Do not buy, race fan, just like Tony said. I said it earlier. Please buy a 50-50 ticket tonight. I know most of you don't play, but just the other half's going to the family tonight, race fans, and it means a lot to those people. So make sure you say thank you to military men and women, all your first responders. Say thanks to all those people because they do it out of the goodness of their heart. So
they help practice.
Yep.
And they got shown that many times this week. So.
Yep. And many are just volunteers.
Yep, exactly correct.
So.
Absolutely. So, Tony, congratulations.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up.
You bet.
Always a great time. You're a great ambassador of this place. So, tell you what, we can't say enough thanking you.
He's trying to beat Dave Weeder, race fans. Let's see if let's see how that happens. Might be another 20 years down the road,
Let's see. This would be my 38th year.
38th year.
So, Dave, you've been out there a long time.
was your first time at Art Max, or were you by yourself?
No, my first time was actually my own car.
Okay.
But
Couldn't
Art
remember.
Mac did help.
Yeah.
He helped a lot of
Yep.
us. Steve Melman and
Yep.
Terry Opperly. He was involved
Yep.
with all
Yep.
of us.
Yep.
So.
What year was that?
1986.
1986.
Yep.
10 years before I was born.
Actually ran the Enduro, I believe, in 85.
Right,
Does
yep.
that sound right?
Yep.
85?
85 is correct, yep.
So,
yeah, that was interesting. that race, yeah. I've got people bring that up all the time. So
This place has evolved, and so have you, right?
Yeah, we all have. So,
yep.
Awesome. Appreciate
All
it
right,
again.
yeah,
Thanks for coming.
thanks.
We'll go. We're gonna take a break here. Get this thing working.
We're gonna try it?
I'll be right. We'll be right back with Pitside Live. Hey.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah, Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels. Giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue. Find us on Indeed.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live. We're coming down here to our last segment here tonight. Once again, real quick here, you're listening to us on KCSI Radio 95.3 out of Red Oak and Corning, and KOAK Radio 1040. I do 1080. Sorry, we forgot to do station identification there 12 minutes ago. So, welcome here to Pitside Live on KCSI. Also, those of you watching us on YouTube, make sure you can always go back anytime during the week and watch us again on the YouTube channel, KCSI's YouTube channel. You get to see us anytime you want in there. We just love that. So,
Want to finish up with some final results? You want to go through hobby stocks and
let's do that.
modifieds?
Absolutely. Adam Hensel, we were going to try to have him on, but he had a late start. He had some car trouble, so he had a late start getting here. He knew he was going to be late tonight, so he wasn't able to make it. So
yeah, unfortunately for him, got caught in a wreck up at Spencer, Iowa.
And we'll definitely,
I don't know if that's the car trouble he was having, but
and then we'll definitely have him on again. That's for sure. But go ahead, we'll do the hobby stock class. Your hobby stocks top 10 in 10th place was Dave Weedon. We mentioned Dave quite a bit tonight. Anthony Fletchall, the 29 car, is in 9th place. 8th place was Buddy Heitzig the week before his winner. Cody Warner in the 21 car finishing 7th. 6th place was Derek Myers, followed by Tom Myers in the 7 car. Jared Lund in the 95 was your 4th place finisher, followed by Dustin Grout in 3rd. Jim Toll thought he was going to pull one off last week for us. He led that darn thing almost the entire race, finishing 2nd, but Adam Hensel got him on like the second to last lap, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was a good race. Again, everybody was kind of tugging the tires a little bit, and Jim Toll did a really good job of staying out front there for most of the race. I really didn't know Adam was there. Adam finally got underneath him, and then actually I think he passed him on the outside. I do believe.
I think so. Yeah.
And there was multiple guys that had middle lane outside passes, Bryce Allen and Adam Hensel. So again, it was kind of an attrition race last week, kind of just holding tire, right rear tire, whoever had right rear tire left.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing about the hobby stocks and it was kind of expected before this season, I think Adam Hensel's starting to cement himself as the guy to beat, and he's what was it, last week? Or not last week, but 2 weeks before that, he finished second, I believe. So already making a strong bid at his second track championship, and
he's one of those guys that does a really good job of taking care of his stuff.
And his car is always set up well. It seems it's just he's always has drive off the corner. So he's definitely going to be tough to beat, but it's going to be fun to watch. Another shout out too is Dustin Grout. He had a really great run in that 10G.
I believe that's career best finish right there.
Yeah, and obviously a few years ago moved up from the compact class and starting to make a name in the hobby stock class.
Absolutely. Absolutely correct. And another one to me is knocking on the door for several years now, and I think he'll get one here this year, and that's Derek Myers. He improves every year, and I thought we told him on an interview last year. I think he's one of those guys you're there, he's knocking the door. We know he's going to get one.
Well, he's got a great teacher. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, we have dial tone. Maybe we must have lost here, so let's dial back in. Let's shut everything off, dial back in. Shut both of them off. Never mind.
We are still live on the YouTube channel, Race Fans. Race Fans on the YouTube channel, we're going to go mute really quick here. Just give us a few minutes. We'll be right back with you.
Contact. I think we're back live.
We are back on the YouTube channel again, Race Fans. Hopefully we're live on the radio.
So sorry, but anyway, we're back live. I didn't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about the stock cars, the hobby stock finish there at the end. So, but we'll go back here. We got one more class to do results on, I do believe, and that is the modifieds. So we didn't get the modifieds. Let's go ahead and do your modified top 10 from last week. In 10th place was Troy Fudge, followed by Dylan Carlisle. There we're on the air. Okay, good enough. 8th place was Andrew Clark, followed by Tyler Fudge. 6th place was Austin Paul. Fifth place, Jeff James. Josh Cooper in the 10J car finishing fourth. Jeff Wiggins in the 36T was third. Jesse Dennis from My Here Corning in the 70 car was second. But your winner from Greenfield, Iowa, Colton Garside.
Yeah, that crew has been really fast. I think they've kind of needed it after this week. I think they need another win tonight, but they're here tonight, race fans. So make sure if you are, stop on by and say hi to them. They've had a long week, so
man, I tell you, if one of those two can pull off a win tonight, it's going to be an emotional victory.
Yeah,
so it would be.
But obviously they're going for 3 in a row out of the Garside group there. So a lot of speed in those Rage cars.
Absolutely, and we got a couple new modifieds here tonight, race fans. Cade Richards is here out of the Atchis, Nebraska area. Also, Josh Most is here with Justin Zeitner's car. That we talked to him last week about it. That car is a super fast hot rod, and Josh is a throttle master. So, it'll be fun to watch. So
he's had a pretty solid week too. He made the show up at Spencer, so probably I don't think the track was exactly what he was looking for up there. It kind of went out on a fresh track, so he didn't really get a very good shot to go up through there. But I think anybody that comes to this track a lot knows it's if Josh Most is in a competitive car, he's going to be battling up front. So this will be the first time I get to see this car on track, so definitely looking forward to seeing what kind of speed it has. So
yeah, tough luck for that deal up there at Stewart too, or up Spencer. You know, that's where all this weather started. It seemed like the day before.
Yeah,
it never got any better the entire week. So
unfortunately, they had to cut their purse up there too for that race. So, but race fans, we do want to mention once again. I do want to mention that as you make your way into the Speedway, there's going to be a cop car parked outside. That was Nick Kepi's car. Make sure you buy a 50-50 ticket tonight, race fans. It's going to a really good cause, going to that Kepi family. So make sure you buy a 50-50 ticket tonight. Make sure you thank all your first responders. Make sure you thank your military men and women and their families, because Memorial Day weekend, that's what it's all about. So we're glad to be back here at the Speedway once again. We thank and appreciate everybody coming tonight. I know you've got probably a lot of other things you could be doing, going to the lake. I know it'd be kind of chilly being at the lake, but we thank and appreciate you for supporting us. So, again, race fans, make sure you buy a 50-50 ticket tonight. Also, huge thanks to Budweiser for sponsoring tonight. They're going to have some samples down there, so they're doing some sampling down there. Make sure you go buy yourself a ice cold Busch Latte, or maybe a
just a good old Budweiser.
Maybe a good old Budweiser. So,
but they got some stuff down there sampling. So make sure you head down there if you haven't ever stopped in. Head on down there real quick. They're still doing some sampling. So can't thank Dole Distributing enough, the longtime sponsor here at the Adams County Speedway. We can't thank them enough for what they do. As you said, Evan, this is Proud to Serve Night. Military is what it's all about. Also, our first responders. Hopefully, we'll announce something this week about that. After the week we've gone through, we'll be doing some things next week. You just wait and see. On addition to Tri-Center, Tri-State Auto Family next week will be our sponsor as well, but we'll be adding some things to that next week.
We have e-powered races next week too.
I do believe. I
think next
I
week
had
is
it pulled
E-Series.
up, and I don't even remember. Let me pull it up again. But go ahead.
No, just an awesome weekend. I mean, Memorial Day, obviously, it's all about appreciating those that have served and who are serving, and it's just awesome to be a motorsports fan and get to do that, especially in being a NASCAR sanctioned track. Obviously, this week's the Coke 600 too. Tomorrow, greatest day in racing. So it's awesome. It's awesome to have these races that are so dedicated.
It's the Kyle Larson day tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much. So, man, I tell you, I'm gonna lose my mind if he wins the 500. But it'll be fun to watch. And obviously, the Coke 600. Most of the cars out there are repping patriotic schemes, and all of them have past service members that have passed away on
That's
the
kind of a
cars.
bucket list race to go to, is the Coke 600.
I think that's on my list next year. So
weren't they doing a giveaway? NASCAR or somebody doing a giveaway to go to both races?
I believe so. But
that would have been pretty neat to do that.
Yeah, so luckily I've been able to have some friends down in Charlotte now, so now I kind of got a free place to stay for those races.
Cool.
So
you got to get somebody that owns an airplane that you can fly
I
back
know.
to, so you can do
I
both
need to make friends with Kyle Larson.
Need a jumper plane. Yeah, wheels up.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding. So and you're right, Evan. Next week also is the CHI Kids E-Series races, so always look forward to that. CHI, our local hospital here in town, always sponsoring our kids races, our E-Series and our boxcar races, but that is next week. June 1st is our kids E-Series races. That's always the fun time. So no registration needed. Just show up your car. We'll get you set up, and we'll have that fun down there, and we'll have a good time with that as well, with the Tri-State Night out of Maryville. Can't thank those guys enough for being sponsors several years in a row now. So Tri-State Auto Family, because they do several types of vehicles now, not just Tri-State.
Look at that.
Ford,
Those are all
so.
Corvettes.
So,
oh, that's awesome.
So
Is that at the 500?
Yep.
That's at Charlotte, I think.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So yeah, and like I said, we'll probably have some announcements this week. What's happened weather-wise here, we'll do some announcements. We're also going to be getting set up on what we're going to try to do on some of these makeups. We're missing the first 3 weeks, and today was a hard decision trying to get this in and making whether we want to do that or not. But just to throw out there real quick, we're thinking about maybe we're taking the week of Newton off, but we might be doing that Friday. So that's one option we have available, which I do believe is June 14th. So that's a possibility of trying to race on Friday, June 14th. That way it'll just be a 1 week race instead of doing back-to-backs.
Yep, we're going to try to make up some nights here, race fans, later in the season. So hopefully when Mother Nature calms down a little bit too.
Yep.
So, knowing it, maybe in a couple months we're going to be praying for rain. So who knows?
Yeah. So then on top of that, the week we are off for Saturday is June 15th because of the Newton Speedway, Iowa Speedway. NASCAR, Iowa Corn, can't say enough for Iowa Corn, man, what they're doing and what they've done for us. But they're going to have a hospitality set up over there. But if you have tickets, you're going to have a great show because we've got lots of things. We're going to be taking some stuff over there as well, and we're very much looking forward to that, to getting our name out there as well. But that's going to be a neat week. But like I said, if you got tickets, great.
Yeah,
but don't forget to watch it on TV.
It's going to be so cool seeing, some of the sponsors that we have down at our track involved with a race like that. So that's what I always love, racing at that track on iRacing, and I'm like, hey, look at those billboards.
Yeah.
Like they have billboards at our track, so it's always pretty cool. But like we've talked about a couple times, hopefully it puts on a good show. I think I heard they're doing a test this week, so hopefully they decide to bring that soft tire. I want to see some. If anybody here watched Bristol this year, they were wearing the tires down to the cords, and guys were hanging on for dear life trying to get their cars to pit road. So I would not hate to see that at Iowa Speedway.
I actually thought that it was night and day difference from last year with the Norks Wilkesboro race. I mean, oh my God. That went from being one of the most boring races I've ever seen last year to one of the best short track races I've seen in a long time.
Well, and that was, that's the best repave I have ever seen.
Oh, you want to talk about racetrack revival?
Yeah.
Repaving that racetrack was the revival.
It's not very often you repave a short track and you're running the high side. And for those that don't know, that aren't really, follow NASCAR super close, what they did is they actually repaved it and they put aggregate in it. And basically what that is, like little seashells, little pebbles. Basically they paved it to feel like it's a worn out surface. So unfortunately, it only lasts about 5 to 10 years, but NASCAR determined if we want to put on good shows, that's just what's going to have to happen.
We'll just repave it every 5-10 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but in my opinion, and NASCAR will probably see it now, that track should be on the regular schedule.
Well, that's what they discussed. Obviously, the show got stunk up a little bit, and they only had 20 cars on track. If you had a full field of 40 cars and the leaders had to deal with traffic, oh boy.
Yeah.
Because the leaders would have had to run the bottom, and they would have been having to go everywhere. So
that track needs to be on the schedule.
Yeah, for sure. So,
I know they've been talking about Bowman Gray being on the schedule too.
I think that might be the clash, and there's a little rumor going around right now that old Rockingham might be on the schedule next year.
I could do without Bowman Gray. It's too small.
No, Bowman Gray is just a party.
They do have that, but as far as watching,
You're what?
I can't.
I'm kind of on the train of that's a little bit of a WWE show.
Exactly correct.
It's one of those things. I feel like you got to go see it once, but it would be enough after a while.
It's just a big amphitheater, pretty much.
I feel bad for their officials.
I'm not disappointed.
Why would you want to be an official at Bowman Gray?
Oh man,
that's tough.
Those guys are troopers because they're dodging race cars in the infield, people swinging on.
I remember last year when that guy smoked that water barrel going into the exit. I'm like, what?
Well, it's amazing how quick things change too. We watched a weekly night there on Flow, and the whole place was cheering for this dude. And the next week he showed up, got in a wreck, and then the whole crowd was booing him. And he was flipping the number one at the crowd. I'm like, man, everybody was on their feet for this guy last week, and now they're booing him. So It's definitely it's called the Madhouse for a reason.
Hey,
so.
they removed the speed bump down there on the infield. So
Yep.
Well, race fans, we're coming to the end of the show here, and we got about a minute left. So we thank and appreciate you for joining us. Thanks to Lori and Aaron, and back at the studio. And make sure you keep tuning in to KCSI for all your weather needs, because Aaron does a really good job. And hey, maybe I can give Aaron a couple more phone calls, do a little storm chase, and that was fun.
I wish I was tuned in for that. I wanted to hear Evan.
I could just soon not have to do that. Let's just put it that way.
It was fun. I
it
enjoyed
was fun.
it.
I'm just saying, let's hope we don't have any more.
Yeah, let's hope we don't need you out there
no.
chasing storms.
Thanks to everybody. Like I said, our hearts go out to everybody that's had stuff happen to them this week. I've got to touch base with a lot of them. We'll talk to the Wiggins and Garsides here tonight in the pits. I'm going to go in there and personally talk to them. But tell you what, folks, thanks for all those that have donated their time, their effort, all the first responders, everything that happened this week. The outpouring of support has been amazing. I understand that Greenfield has gotten so much help and donations that they're also starting to send things down here to Adams County. Like I said before, Fletchall is a group from Missouri. We're trying to arrange some stuff to come up here as well. We'll get things divvied out to where it needs to go. But thank you very much. Let's have a nice, safe week, a good Memorial weekend for everybody, and we'll see you next week here at Pitside Live and live at Adams County Speedway for Tri-State and the CHI E-Power Series. And let's go racing, guys. How about if I sign off? Let's see if that works. We're going to talk a few more seconds while I sign off. I tell you, this is incredible. I'm going to get this resolved for next week, too. It just makes it eventful doing this to even try to sign off. So.
One more thing, race fans, before we get off of here, too, is we're here for the Kempe family tonight. Again, we're going to honor him tonight on the front stretch. Thanks to all your first responders for being here tonight, supporting that cause. Thanks to Budweiser tonight for sponsoring the event. And we'll see you next week.